By the way, real quick, Richard, I saw Amari Cooper quit at New England.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? It's your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell every time I post some new content. Um, the title says it all, people. Is it real or Israel? And and for the most part, right, you know, my thing is this. I'm not, and I will always say this. I will always continue to say this, right? That you know what another YouTuber thinks. That's totally and completely on them. If 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 you know if whoever and whatever, or let's just say if whoever or whatever is looking at all of this stuff that is that has gone down, going down now, and probably will continue to happen, right? Listen, y'all want to actually really call that false flag, then hey, by all means, but by all means, because and and even to, I mean, because my thing is this, right? I always try to, well, I always look at the situation and I can be like, okay, is it actual factual or is this actual, or is it bullshit? And then, like I say, if y'all want to call it a false, if y'all want to call it a false flag, then hey, by all means, really ain't got no problem with that. So my whole deal is that I've really been watching this whole thing since it took place, right? And it's almost like, okay, well, hey, all that is going on over there, right? Now you got motherfuckers over here, right? That's now they're up in arms. Well, I'm not gonna necessarily say that they're up in arms, but they're actually really voicing their opinion because of what is actually really going over, regard, because of what's going on over there in Israel right now. Y'all have to excuse me. So I'm actually waiting for my man to show up. So so that way, you can actually really, you can hear what I'm saying. And then, but at the same time, I actually really want to give my homeboy his chance to to do, to say what he gonna say, about this. Hold on. So basically, so now that I got that out the way, and and then we could actually really look at the title and say, is it real or Israel? Now, I look at it like this, right? And I actually really talked to my sister-in-law about this yesterday. and I actually really sent her some information that it. Well, I'm knowing that it would actually really help, a great deal. Especially what's actually really just that's going on now. So, but my thing is anybody that actually really knows the true history of what's actually really going down over there, right? And then you already know this is why I'm actually really calling it. You'll understand the title. You'll understand the title because my whole deal is this, and then I already know a lot of motherfuckers if they see this, if and when they see this, or if they see it, I mean, depending on what the fuck YouTube and StreamYards is gonna do here, right? I don't know if it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be StreamYards. Well, StreamYards, they don't give a damn, I'm sure, but I'm almost like, okay, what the fuck YouTube is gonna say, right? I mean, because you can best believe that a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers that is actually like really paying attention of what is going on, right? It may be a select few that'll look at this and be like, okay, they at it again. But and then it's gonna be, I know at least one group out there that has been paying attention to what the fuck is going on. And they can look at that and be like, you know what? It's the wrong people fighting. It's the wrong people fighting, right? What you know, I mean, and then it's just for the fact, if y'all actually really think that the crazy uncle is bullshitting y'all, right? Oh, what the fuck? You gotta look at. Okay, let's look at what the Bible says. Let's look at the flag, the Israeli flag, the so-called Israeli flag, right? The Star of David. So so the question that you need to ask yourself, well, who was David's father? King Solomon, right? That's what. See, King Solomon was my goddamn color, if not darker. Now, here's the deal. If King, put like this, if a lie was told, then King James told it, right? Because the thing about it is this: there's a lot of stuff that's been left out of the Bible. But then, regardless of how you may or may not look at King James, a lot of shit he had to keep in there. He had to keep a lot of stuff in there. So, so again, let's look at the flag. That's the Star of David. David was a son of King Solomon, who was black. It's in the Bible. And I know they know that. If like this, if I know that, you know that they know it. Right? But let's look at the people that all of this hurt and conflict is coming towards. Right? Here's thing. I'm not sitting up here saying, I'm not sitting up here saying that, oh, just because they the wrong color, go and let that shit happen. I'm not saying that. Right? But what I am saying is this. you almost have to look at what's going on as if you was watching a motherfucking a Scooby-Doo cartoon. And then here come the kids. They didn't found out about some shit, right? So they go to investigate, and everything of what they actually really heard about, yes, that shit is happening. But then again, you could be like, okay, well, why is it happening? Right? What is it that you actually really trying to drive away from folk in order for y'all to, in order for this to actually like really be uh newsworthy, if you will. And so Scooby Doo and the gang, that's what they do. So they go in there and they look for clues. You know, Scooby and Shaggy, they get scared the shit out of damn near every motherfucking mystery, right? But when the case, but when it's all said and done, they done caught who the fuck they supposed to catch. And there's always a big ass surprise on their face. Or the people that doggone they called them in. Hey, look, something's rather fucked up going on. And then they'll be like, so they do it and then they come in, they find the clues, blah 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 and all that kind of shit. Then when they feel like when they realize who the fuck did it, and then they were like, damn dog. So this is what the fuck we do. You gonna fuck over me because of what the fuck you knew about this particular place. Right? So you feel like, okay, you get me out the way or get us out the way so you can actually like really collect of what the fuck you feel like that you finna collect. Right? And then what they always say, oh, I'd have had if it went for them meddling kids. Right? So, but but then again, so here's the deal. All of us, the original 12 or the original 13 tribes of Israel, people that look like us, right? You don't see none of us fighting that shit. We too busy trying to figure out, we too busy fighting for rights here in the United States. So New York and everybody else, y'all on alert. What the fuck for? Right? I mean, because I also look at it like this. Let's just say if it was a whole bunch of us that was sitting up there blowing up shit, right? Nothing would have been said. Nothing, absolutely. They might have talked about it for 5 fucking minutes, and then that'd been the end of it. But since they look like the other color, right? Then of course, CNN or Channel 33, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, you name it. Everybody's actually like really gonna do the coverage. Yeah, I'm almost willing to bet money if I was to cut this shit out right now, right, and go on CNN or Fox News, they actually really talking about this shit right now. And it's just like what I said a few shows back that you know what, with the government shutdown, right? But you steady sending motherfucker everywhere else. You're sending money to the Ukraine. You want to send money to Israel, and then whatever the fuck that y'all did back when either when Trump or Obama was in office, and I'm almost about really to say it probably was when Obama was in office. Then you give Iraq $6 billion. What the fuck for? Right? Motherfuckers always hollering about, oh, well, we can't pay our bills. We can't pay our bills. We can't pay our bills. Well, and again, it's just like what I said in previous shows, right? The United States government hasn't paid a bill since August 15, 1971, when Richard Nixon took away the Gold Standard Act. It went from the gold standard to petrodollar to it's like, well, whatever the fuck y'all feel is valuable, right? So again, you gotta look at this. You really gotta look at this. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck is actually really going on over there? Why is it happening? Is it because of money? No, because I just fucking told y'all that money ain't been by shit since August 15, 1971. Right? And so it ain't about money. Well, it ain't about the money, but somebody's pocket is actually really gonna get filled behind this. Because of whoever that's motherfucking backing both sides of this. But then again, if you do that, then I'm just like, well, motherfucker, you breaking even. But then again, you almost have, always go back to August 15, 1971. So I'm just like, okay, what the fuck is it that you actually really trying to accomplish here? Because the deal about it was this: you can't sit up here and holler about, oh well, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go to the ATM, or I'm gonna go to the ATM. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get a whole bunch of ones, and then I'm gonna go to the strip club or whatever and find the biggest big booty bitch there, and then but just know that her ass probably smell like 10 pounds of get down, right? But I don't give a damn because I'm an old white crusty guy, right? And my wife is old and crusty like me, so I want to see a nice round booty, and I'm gonna make it rain. But here's the deal: depending on where the fuck you in the world, right? Rain, motherfucker. Listen, rain evaporates before it hits the fucking ground. Okay. So for you motherfuckers that's doing this, that enjoy doing this, I gotta ask you, did they cut on the heart machine while you doing this? Okay. All right. So that's why, and so here's the deal. Those people that's calling themselves so-called Hebrew. Well, now I know that they call themselves Jew or whatever. But we already know. You look up the word Jew. Look up the etymology or the archaic. It's spelled Y-E-W. Right? And then look at the Star of David. That's the Star of David. Find out who the fuck David is. Find out who his father was. And then go on CNN and then look at the people that's so-called fighting. And that's the only reason why it's on TV, people. Because they look like the motherfuckers. Because you can best believe if they look like me, CNN, ABC, NBC, ain't nobody finna cover that shit. Okay? I'm just telling y'all for what I'm listening. I'm just telling y'all for what it is. Because everybody else, because look, everybody else can sit up here and holler bullshit. But my thing is, okay, you holler bullshit. Why are you hollering bullshit? Tell me why you hollering bullshit. You can't. You can't tell me why. But just know this, right? Just like I say, I already know one group, they know what the fuck is going on. But the rest of you motherfuckers that sitting up here hollering about, oh, that's bullshit. Tell me why it's bullshit. Because it's on TV. Okay, again, tell me why it's on TV. Right? Just like I said, everybody want to sit up here and holler about woke this, woke that, woke the other. Okay. Shit. So again, right? Everybody holler about woke this, woke that, woke the other. Okay, you woke. Guess what? Your ass just woke up, right? A lot of you motherfuckers do this. And then you stumble to the motherfucking bathroom, cut on the sink water, get your toothbrush, your toothpaste, or whatever. And then unless your eyes are like really open, you're still trying to focus, right? And then you doing it, and then the motherfucker steady telling you this, but you like, well, hold on, can I get myself? And a lot of you motherfuckers instead of getting yourself together, you still don't know what the fuck is going on, right? And I'm just listen. I'm just gonna just actually really just come out and just say it. Everybody, and I'm talking about everybody. At this point in the junction, I can actually really give three lovely shits and a good goddamn right now. So, but my whole deal is this: everybody want to holler, and then again, this falls on me. Hey, look, God damn it, don't call me Native American because I was here before this shit was even called America, right? God damn it, don't call me Cherokee, Quapaw. Don't call me none of that shit. Because again, I was like this before I got stamped with some other shit. Right? Because here's the deal. Right? The 12 tribes or the 13 tribes of Israel looking like us. Right? And then God forbid if they do that shit by birth date. Right? And if they do it by birthday, then goddamn it, I fall under the big flag, the tribe of Judah, the warriors, if you will. Big title, and then I fall under the tribe of Dan. It's either Dan or Gad. I forget which one, right? But then, like I said, if you actually really correlate it, you got zodiac sign versus the first, the tribes or whatever. You can't just do blah 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 blah. You actually really got to make that shit fit to actually really make it make sense, right? But my whole wow. Ah, here you go. What's good?
Doing pretty good trying to get in
Hello?
here, but hey, can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Can't. All right, but it was about damn time. Well, I'm here.
Yeah, I
My
can hear
bad
you.
for
I
the.
can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened? Technical difficulties?
I guess you call that. Yeah, I
so
guess it's the state of Israel don't want me to open my goddamn mouth. Is what's going on? Maybe I don't know.
yeah, well, for the most part, I already gave my spiel on what's happening over there. And matter of fact, I actually really talked to my sister-in-law about it a little. I talked to her a little bit about it yesterday, right? And you know, my whole deal is this: with all of the stuff that's going on over there now, and then here it is, we own. It could be a strong possibility of another government shutdown, but we giving money to everybody, right? So I'm just like, okay, what really gives here? We need money to pay our bills. Let them tell it. But you want to go help out everybody else. Which again, I ain't got no problem with that. But at the same time, if you want the American people over here to not be into a huge uproar come November 1st, right? Then somebody somewhere is going to have to say, you know what? We can't do this. We cannot do this. We got to pay our bills. We most definitely got to pay the boys and girls in uniform. Because the first time you don't pay them bastards, especially how some of them are now, right? They not finna do shit. Plain and simple. So what's your take on all of this? If you can still hear me.
I uh I, I really feel as if this is the one. This is they use it in the way they're speaking. They keep on using the same language. They keep on using the same verbiage along other media stations, whether it's left or right or down the center or whatever. When they keep saying this is the next 9/11, it's not my words. This is their words. When I hear that stuff and when I see what they're doing, I feel as if the only way Biden can cover his ass, because I'll be honest, I don't know if you saw him speak at the White House the other day about the situation. Yeah, I mean, that's about as good as he could look. Because besides that, he looks like a buffoon, and it acts as a blanket. It reminds me of it doesn't need to be identical, but it has the hallmarks, and it reminds me of the United States going into Iraq in response to 9/11. And I believe this is the next big wave. They've used it before. They used it in Colombia. They used it in Cuba. They used it in Iraq. They used it. Uh, I guess we'll say now in Palestine, because there's no separation between Israel and the United States. There's no. They are one when it comes to the defense strategy and what's going on. They are one. They've already sent. Lloyd Austin has already sent, who's the Secretary of Defense, has already sent aircraft carriers, has already sent aid. The UK has already deployed 8,000 troops. And God knows what they're doing this weekend. It's already happening. There's American hostages that are still there, European, Australian, German, French. They're all going.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I think is this: when you look at the 9/11 Commission report and you really look at the intel, what you really see is, man, this was a major failure in U.S. intelligence. Really, was it? Or do you allow something to happen? Do you allow something to happen in order to let something else happen? Because I think there's a lot of similarities in the two things. And I mean, I don't see them allowing this to happen, because the Israeli Mossad, which is the equivalent to our CIA, their intelligence and their military and whatever you want to call it, their security and border patrol, are as capable of anybody on the planet. And I find it hard to believe that to be fair, Hamas is not Palestine. I think that people are equivalating the two. Like, they think Hamas equals the government or the military of this country. This would be the equivalent of the cartel doing something and then blaming Mexico. So it's like, they are a terrorist state that is funded out of state into that country, by the way. But I don't think, because I was hearing people talking like just on radio and stuff like that, and it was just like, Hamas is not Palestine. Now you're asking 1.2 million people to just evacuate in 2 days.
Exactly. It's
it's a fucking mess. Basically, let me summarize it. It's a fucking mess. Sorry.
Yeah, a big ass. It's a big ass clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So because because again, it before you came on, right? I was actually I was comparing this to a Scooby-Doo episode, right? I mean, because think about it for a minute. They in the mystery machine. Red flag number one, right? So they were like, okay, so they hear. So listen, so they hear about some shit, and then they go look for clues. Scooby and Shaggy, they always hungry. They always stumbling up on some shit, right? But then once they figure out who's actually really behind it, they pull the mask off, and then they go back and say, okay, well, he did such, and then what does the motherfucker always say? I'd have had it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. So kids need
That's true.
to fuck up some shit somewhere. Right? So I'm just like, just bailing out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so what, so can you hear me, Zach?
Yeah, I can hear you. You were breaking up for there for a
Can
little
you
bit.
hear me? Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
can hear. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, but
You started breaking up a little bit. I heard a majority of what you said.
yeah, because Xfinity, the cable company that I'm with, they fucking with my feed right now. So,
Yeah,
so
yeah. They don't
but
want to hear this shit.
yeah, but I was just saying
No,
is
I heard
that
it like a majority of what you were saying, and I agree with you.
so yeah, so I'm just like
Hold on,
so
let me
again,
crack a
I'm
little.
just like,
Hey,
okay, so
let me crack a little drink here. Isn't it a Friday
okay,
somewhere?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
damn, it's a Friday somewhere. Damn, I've been doing some
It's
hard
either a
work.
Friday. Listen, it's either a Friday somewhere or it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So hey, it is.
I think on no,
That's
I
all.
think on Mars it's Friday about 133 days away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's
And
yeah. So
Elon's gonna get us there one day. President Elon Musk is gonna get us there one day. Commander of the universe. That motherfucker Star Trek.
yeah, but see, and it's funny that because my whole deal is, and this again, this is just me talking, right? I think the planets are closer than what these motherfuckers are hollering. You know.
That is so funny that you said that. I was just listening to a podcast yesterday. I was just listening to a
uh,
podcast yesterday, and for whatever reason, I woke up in the middle of the
yeah,
night. I don't know, around 3
yeah,
a.m. or whatever, and I just took a walk like around the neighborhood or whatever, and I'm like walking around, looking, just looking up, basically, just
yeah,
breathing and walking, just hanging out, and they were saying like the Roseanne Barr podcast, like from the famous show Roseanne. She does a podcast
yeah.
now, and she had a guy on,
Uh,
Eddie Bravo, who's Joe Rogan's buddy, the jiu-jitsu guy, but he's a
yeah,
famous uh, conspiracy theorist, you call it, and he does
yeah,
a podcast. It's called Tinfoil Hat and stuff like that. So they just basically dive into like conspiracy theories, and
yeah,
they were basically saying how ridiculous it is, the stuff with space. It's like you just take for granted when they tell you Mars is 666,000 million, blah blah blah. And they're just
yeah,
using numbers. Like they have no way to calculate that shit. It's the
yeah.
best knowledge we know now. Like they have no way to calculate that shit. Literally, they have
I
no
know,
way to
right?
calculate that shit. And
Right.
you would never think in today's day and age you would hear Roseanne saying something of like value, but damn, she was on point, and she was just like going at it, and it was like it's interesting. So what are
Yeah,
your feelings on that? You said you think it's a lot closer.
I
What's
think
your what's your
listen,
feeling, and like what do you feel about it?
because here's my deal, and let's just talk about the planet Earth before I go outside of it, right?
Yeah,
I truly, honestly believe that the continents are also a lot closer than what NASA have us to believe, right? Because, excuse me, and the only reason why I say this is because me and you talked about this once before. My very first deployment to Saudi, we up in the air 13 hours, but not near time were we able to raise up the shade to see where the fuck we was at, right? And people were steady walking down the aisle, making sure that we didn't raise up the shade. And so once we actually really landed, the first thing that flew out of my mouth was, damn, we still in El Paso.
Nah.
They just kept us up in the air for 13 hours. Right? And so, mind you, this is 1998, right? And so I'm just like, and I kept asking motherfuckers, I was like, look, y'all sure we in Saudi, right? That they didn't bring a whole bunch of motherfuckers over here to make it look like we in Saudi, right? You know, and so my whole deal is this shit is a lot closer than what it is. Because you know, because they always say that the earth crust moves roughly an inch every year. Right? So in 10 years, you might have moved 10 inches. 100 years, what's that? So in 10 years, you move 10 inches. So in 100 years, you might have moved what? 100 inches, right? It still ain't enough to be like, oh, well, we can make a difference. We can see it. So in a million years, right? Or however long they say that, however old they say the earth is. Which again, I think is bullshit, right? So, you know, so let's just say in 6 million years, right? If you do that inch by inch, right? At best, you might have moved 6,000 miles, right? I mean, because if you look at how small the inch is, and you do that over a course of a year, every year, right? That's why I say this shit is closer than what the fuck they telling us. And the first time they put your ass on the airplane, charge you all this money, and you ain't went no farther than fucking 5 feet.
Well, here's the thing about that. We don't even have to go to the you know, to the stars to realize what's going on, because what's going on in Israel could end the whole fucking thing. And no, I agree with what you're saying. Who knows what the fuck's going on? Honestly, quite frankly, it's everyone's best guess is their best guess. And here's the thing, though. Now we have in my neck of the woods, we have Central Command sending Special Operations Forces into Israel because apparently there's American citizens who are hostages, which this is funny. They would have you believe like these people live like in Indiana or some shit. They're Israelis who happen to be Americans. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they happen to be Americans, which I get it. I guess. But now you got, okay, now what happens when you get a special forces guy killed? Then what's going to happen? It's going to cause another shitstorm. It's just going to trickle downhill. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. but they've taken about 200 hostages.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's they're on Fox News right now as we speak, literally as we speak, showing video footage of Hezbollah out of Lebanon and Iran, you know, putting up forces. And it's just like it was never, ever
But, you know,
it was never about Palestine. It was never about Israel. It was about a bigger war. They wanted Iran. They needed to roll them down. Period. It was about Iran.
yeah.
They needed
So
a big
that's
war.
why they gave them the $6 billion.
Exactly.
So is that why they gave them the $6 billion or $6 billion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
Okay,
coincidences in this shit. You don't fuck around and give somebody $6 billion.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So they needed another 20-year war.
Yeah. You know, so
They need to fuck around and be careful.
You know,
They need to fuck around and be and me and you are both veterans of the United States Army. They need to fuck around and be Iran is not Iraq. And they need to that's a real one. But you know what? Honestly, the way they're funding Ukraine against Russia, it seems to me like they're saying, "Fuck it, let's go," and that's above my pay grade. There may be some shit that I'm not privy to, because it seems to me like they're acting reckless. I'm like, holy shit, you want Iran and Russia at the same time? They're like, yeah, we want all the fucking smoke. How about that? And I'm like, God damn. How about the southern border? Where's that energy at the southern border? What the fuck is going on around? It's either the fall of Rome or the most gangster shit I've ever seen. One or the other.
Well, I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you something here. Now let's go back. Let's actually really rewind the tape, if you will, right? And let's actually really go back to when they was, you know, because they was always talking about changing the currency. They was talking about the what was that? The Amero, where they was gonna take the Mexican peso, the American dollar, and then whatever the hell Canada has, right? And then they was actually like really gonna combine it into one currency. Pretty much what the fuck they already did over in Germany, right? So my whole deal is this: a motherfucker be like, okay, this is happening. And then they looking for everybody to look for it, right? Just for the motherfucker say, oh, well, we gonna put that on the back burner for right now. Right? And so, and then you look at the influx of people coming into this country through Mexico into this country, right? Because it's almost like they don't know what the fuck they doing down there, or they just letting people come in. In either case, this country is getting over flooded, right? So now you got to worry about, okay, we got people from Mexico coming in. We try to give money to the motherfucking Ukraine, right? Now Israel got involved. Then you got people up in New York, they raising hell. What, the so-called Jewish people, they raising hell, right? So, and then you steady sending troops over to Israel. So I'm just like, okay, so with all of this shit that's going on, something is gonna lag behind. It has to. It's a part of nature, right? So I'm almost thinking what the fuck is gonna happen. Ain't gonna be no motherfucking, you know, everybody knows how about chip this, chip that, chip the other. No, it's gonna be one goddamn currency between us Mexico, and Canada. Right? Now, if they feel like they want to chip a motherfucker, then hey, by all means. But you know, I always look at what the fuck is going on. And I'm just like, okay, you done put the big booty bitch over there, she twerking. Right? And so everybody looking at it. So I'm just like, okay, what the fuck are y'all really doing? Right? I mean, because the thing about though is this. It's always shutdown after shutdown after motherfucking shutdown. Or the potential of a shutdown. But I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, now whoever fucking watched this, right? You know, then hey, it is what it is. But I will say this much: December 31st of this year, the government was shut down. The government was shut down, and it won't come back up until January 3rd. Now, so but then again, right? Right? If you actually really measures time, how time is supposed to be measured, right? But you know, fuck all that. I just think December 31st, when everybody think they gonna get paid, government's gonna shut down. Government's gonna shut down while everybody's partying, especially here in the United States, right? Where everybody's partying, can't nobody get no fucking money, everybody drunk, some major fights is gonna break out. A lot of motherfuckers gonna be in jail, right? I'm just, you know, you know, it's just, you know, this just came to me now. I'm not trying to predict shit, but it really wouldn't surprise me none if the government shuts down December 31st of this year.
Makes
It really
sense. I
wouldn't
mean,
surprise
would they give a 45-day extension? Basically, that's what they passed, right?
Yeah,
45 days.
yeah.
Well,
But it's gonna be some other shit. Hold on, listen. It's gonna be some other shit that's gonna happen, right? They gonna put a band-aid on it because they're like say a deal still ain't gonna be made. But I'm telling you, watch what the fuck I tell you. They gonna shut the government down while ain't nobody paying the fucking attention because they too busy trying to bring in 2024. I'm just
ho-
putting it. Listen, they gonna
yeah,
go to
hopefully
their
that day, hopefully
ATM.
that
They gonna
falls on
go
a
to their
weekend.
ATM.
Just get me paid first.
They got paid.
Just get me
Huh?
paid first on that month. That's it.
I did, you know, right?
Shit.
Well,
That's
yeah.
just
So
get me
yeah, because
paid.
matter of fact, well, hold on now. For us, well, shit. You know, the first
I think
falls
they
on the
have like a
fucking Monday.
2-month buffer for the VA,
Yeah. You
like
know,
a stockpile is what they
all
call
what
it, or
I'm
something
saying
like
is
that.
this. Yeah. So my thing is, don't be surprised. These motherfuckers, they'll keep quiet, and then the motherfucker they gonna wait. Something's gonna happen, and then they gonna be like special news report, but everybody gonna be too fucked up to figure out what the fuck is going on, and motherfucker gonna be like, hey, look, guess what? You ain't finna get paid, right? And then
Like, what are
everybody
you
gonna
talking
wake
about?
up the
It's Sunday
next
Night
morning thinking
Football.
that they got money in there. Yeah, yeah, it's the exact same thing. So, because I told you,
Like, what do you mean? The Eagles
these
are
two
playing. What the
teams, and
fuck you
then
talking
what's so
about?
bad about it? Now, listen, these motherfuckers, the game last night, the Bulls and the Bills and the Giants, they played in Super Bowl 25. And I text you this. I said, what the fuck was going on when those two teams played in the Super Bowl? the start of the Gulf War was happening there.
Yeah.
You know,
Nah.
and so I'm just, so just like say, all of this shit is connected. All of this shit is connected. What goes on in professional sports, it affects. Don't tell me how I do it, Rob, but I'm just saying, like, whatever the fuck these motherfuckers do out there on that football field, that basketball court, or that baseball field, whatever the fuck they do or don't do affects the political realm, so-called political realm. Just like I said, when all that shit that happened, remember when George Bush Sr. got sick in Japan and he started throwing up all over everything and everybody? The stock market failed because that motherfucker got sick. So I'm just like, well, damn, right? So all it takes is for one motherfucker to get sick for the stock market to just go into motherfucking haywire. So my whole deal is this. The people that so-called fighting over there, I'm almost thinking that they done took something that happened many years ago and they steady rehashing that shit. Because the thing about it is this. The people of Israel, the true people of Israel and Gaza and everybody in that circle, hell, they probably good. They probably ain't got no problems with each other over there. It's just for the simple fact when you get motherfuckers that want to feel both sides of the fucking war, and they want everybody to still believe that the dumb motherfuckers, they still pissed off at each other. What happened years ago, many years ago, and then for those of us that actually really see it for what it is, we can sit and say, you know what? That's a holy war because here it is. Isaac, he was a hoe, right? He had a wife, and then he had his mistress. So he got 6 from his wife and 6 from his hoe. Now these two now they fighting over the fucking land. But here's the deal: all of you motherfuckers got the same daddy. So what you bitching? Okay, so that might have been the case way back then. But over the course of time, right, people tend to settle their differences. The greatest feud in American history here, or one of them, is the Hatfields and McCoys. And don't you know some of them motherfuckers is married to each other now? So,
Exactly.
So again, when you can actually really put this shit on a higher scale and make money from it. Remember, they brought Tupac's ass back in a hologram, right? And motherfuckers lost their goddamn mind, right? So if they can do that with one individual, just imagine what the fuck that they can do with a goddamn country, as long as whoever's in motherfucking charge, as long as whoever's in motherfucking charge, right? Hey, look, I know y'all finna fuck up my shit, but listen, I'm gonna need some serious money so I can rebuild it. Because they can be like, don't nobody never fuck with the United States. You can't never tear up shit here. Right? But anywhere else, right? Look, we can fuck. We can fuck up your shit all goddamn day long. Huh? Here's some money. Rebuild your shit.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with it more.
That's how it's always.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. I gotta bounce for now.
Okay.
But are you available tomorrow or no?
I'm available. Listen, anything after 12 noon tomorrow, I'm always free.
Let's pick up part 2 tomorrow because this conversation, I have so much I want to say, but I got some obligations out there. Okay. There's so much I want to say. As the World Turns, part 2 coming tomorrow. Then same time tomorrow. I'll watch. I'm gonna watch the end of this.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna watch the end.
Okay. So, but yeah, so we'll do it the same time tomorrow. Or if you want to do it earlier, if you want to do it an hour earlier, then I'm
Oh,
good
that's
for that
better
too.
for me if
You
it's
know.
an hour
So
earlier.
so you want to 1 p.m. my time tomorrow?
That's perfect. 2 o'clock my time.
1 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, 1
So
p.m. your
1
time,
p.m. 1 p.m. Yeah. And
Central time.
so I'll go ahead, I'll finish up, and then I'll let everybody know, hey, look, tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and then we'll finish this up.
And you
We'll finish this up
keep an
tomorrow.
eye on the news because I got a feeling some stuff's gonna fizzle out today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So
All right, brother. It's a great conversation like
all
always.
right, man. I'll talk to
All
you.
right, peace.
All right, man. All right, peace. So hey, so again, uh it's getting good there, but hey, look, people have things to do, but hey, it is what it is. So I really ain't got too much else to say. Right? So all what the fuck that I can tell y'all is hey, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dan, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door across the street riding calling Paul's Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. I'm gonna holler at y'all.